Welcome to the main event. A very special 3-part podcast review podcast you won't want to miss. A complete retrospective of Should You Watch This? 161 movies reviewed over 10 years. Why did the Sacklunch call the priest out? Who really is a Sacklunch anyway? And how many golden buckets can and will be given out? What is the limit? Is there a limit? Whose show is this anyways? We will find out starting now. Joining me today is the reason for the special retrospective. Our very own resident nemesis to the priest. You know him. I hope you love him. The venerable Sacklunch.
Oh, man. Dude, that was one of the most hype intros you've had. I'm ready to go. I'll run through walls right now.
Dude, I was like, I got to do something cool to get us amped up for this, so...
Yeah.
It's time to get our hands dirty. The work is hard, but we can do it. We have the technology. This is going to be released right after our Beekeeper review. And It's also been kind of hanging around there for, I don't know, the last maybe 5 or 6 movies that we've reviewed. You've kind of hinted at it, brought it up more and more. You've yelled at me a little bit, and you say, "Well, tell me why." So you think that I give too many golden buckets?
100%.
Okay,
you absolutely do.
Okay, so because of that, I went through and I listened to every single one of my episodes, which was kind of excruciating, especially because the first 30 some odd episodes, I didn't really know what I was doing. And so, forgive me, but that's the journey. And we really needed to figure out, am I right? Is Dan right? Are we both right? Are we both wrong? That's what we're going to do today. We might break this into 3 parts is what I'm thinking, because we have 161 movies. And I think if we break them into 50 movies at a time, I don't know if that's too much. We're just going to kind of figure it out as we go. But before we do that,
I like it.
If you remember, listeners, in our Beekeeper episode, we talked a little bit about where does Jason Statham fit in the pantheon of action movie stars. I said that he belongs in the top 10. You said that he belongs in the top 40, which is wild. So what I wanted to do is I ranked my top 10. And I have some honorable...
You want to start there?
Dude, if you want to know where he ranks, I'm going to tell you where he ranks. And then you...
I have to know. Yeah, 100% I got to know. Okay.
All right. So these are ranked in order of what I think is the top 10 action movie stars of all time. Okay?
Okay.
And I bet you'll agree with most of these. I don't know if all, but number 1... is Tom Cruise.
Yeah, the GOAT.
I think because of you and I's reviews of his films in the past year or so has been revolutionary and revelatory to me. Yeah, I always thought that he was the GOAT, but not to the level that I found out about everything that he does. So he's number 1.
Yeah, we didn't go into it thinking he was as good as we knew he was great, but I don't think we knew that he was like the GOAT of GOATs.
Yeah. And it's not just because of his dedication and commitment to stunts. It's because of that and what he does as a producer, the
commitment. Yeah. The commitment to the role as well. I mean, we referenced so many different times about how he could hold his breath for 6 minutes, about how he can fly a helicopter, an airplane. I mean, he's incredible.
Yeah. So TC, I affectionately call him, is number 1. Yep. Number 2 is easy for me. It's Arnie. For sure, he's number 2 for me. Number 3, because I'm a child of the 80s, I'm saying Stallone. And you even mentioned that in our Beekeeper pod that, where is Arnold? Where's Stallone? I'm like, they're there, buddy. They're there.
Yep.
Number 4, I'm putting Keanu Reeves.
Oh, yeah.
Just because of the sheer magnitude of the series that he's been in, these action series, and he's done it multiple times in his career. So he's number 4. I'm putting Bruce Lee as number 5, even though he had a truncated career because of his untimely death. But Bruce Lee, I think, is number 5. Harrison Ford is number 6 for me. He's just iconic as an action guy. And in the 80s, he started the blockbuster with not only Star Wars, but Indiana Jones. So
yeah,
huge action star.
Huge.
Number 7 is Jackie Chan. Number 8 is Bruce Willis.
Oh, yeah.
And then number 9 for me is Jason Statham. I flip-flop 9 and 10 of The Rock and Statham, but they're kind of interchangeable to me. I think Jason Statham's better because of his martial arts.
Okay.
Like The Rock,
so
all he is big. And he's not as good as Arnold. Okay.
So you're putting Jason Statham above Jean-Claude Van Damme.
I haven't finished, but yes. Mm-hmm.
Above Mel Gibson.
I got Mel Gibson at 15.
Mel Gibson, Braveheart, The Patriot. Give me back my son.
Give me back my son. Get off my plane. Oh, that's Harrison Ford. I got him at 6.
Denzel Washington.
Denzel, he's not even on my top 25.
Mila Jovovich.
Yeah, I mean, you could argue
Hugh
because
Jackman.
of her. What is it? What's the series she's in? Resident Evil, right? Isn't she the? Yeah. I do love that series.
And The Fifth Element. Russell Crowe. You have Jason Statham above Russell Crowe.
Yeah, here's where the distinction with Statham is higher is because of his martial arts expertise and being in the Transporter and Fast and Furious and other action films. These other guys don't have that. They have stunt doubles. Freaking Statham's doing his stunts. Maybe not now in his late 50s, but he was doing them.
I don't think he was doing all of them the entire time. I don't think so.
Not all. He's not Tom Cruise. I don't know that
for sure.
He's not Tom Cruise, but he for sure has more background in his belt than The Rock or Mel Gibson.
I mean, Mark Wahlberg, Will Smith.
I got Mark Wahlberg at 24. I got Kurt Russell at 25.
Liam Neeson.
I got Neeson's at 22. I even put Seagal at 20, even though I think he's a fraud.
We all know he's a fraud, but he was still entertaining. Yeah. Wesley Snipes. I'd put Statham ahead of Snipes.
I got Snipes at 17. I got Robert Downey Jr. at 16 only because he launched Iron Man, the Marvel Universe. It's pretty impressive what he did.
Yeah.
Even in his career,
but brother,
too.
There's no way Statham is in even the top 25. I mean, I just listed off like 12 people that were not in your top 10. So there's no way, brother.
Yeah.
No, man.
I got Vin Diesel at 12 and Samuel L. Jackson on 13, only because I put him so high on 13 because of his box office prowess.
Yeah.
He's probably top 10 all-time box office numbers because of the crazy movies he's been in that have made so much money, like Star Wars and
if
Marvel.
If Mel Gibson never would have come out as a conservative, he would still be banging out bangers left and right like he was in the 90s and 80s and early 2000s.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Lethal Weapon?
He's 15. It's a stack.
No.
It's a stacked like list.
No.
I got Sigourney
Because
Weaver.
You said something about producing as well, and you're talking about a director, producer, actor with Mel Gibson.
Yeah, he's 15.
But he's better than Statham.
No.
Oh my God.
And he drops because of his personal life for me.
Listeners, we need you to comment.
Yeah, tell me where we're.
I beg you. This is when I need you all to show out and put it in the comments section wherever you're listening.
Listen, this is
thing.
Probably would be the argument of all time. It will be ongoing, the never-ending story of arguments of action movie stars. I don't know if you can like figure it out exactly because there's so much personal preference, but
I'm not asking to figure it out perfectly, but I can sure as hell figure out that Statham is not anywhere near where you have him.
All right. Where are you putting him? 20? 15? 30s?
I think based on what I just kind of went through, I would probably put him about 28 to 29.
That's too low for me. But that's fine.
Oh. Yeah.
I just wanted everyone to know that
different strokes for different folks.
Yeah. That's our homework. All right, cool. So let's get into a little bit of why, because we don't have categories. This is a special episode. Again, we talked about why we're doing this. I'm just going to start with the first 50 movies that I reviewed. I've tallied. So you've brought into question my ability to select a golden bucket. So I've got 17 golden buckets out of the first 50. Now,
some of your large mediums that were clearly golden buckets.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So then how do you want to do this? Do you want me to go through each one, or should we go through the golden buckets first and then go back to the ones that you think should be higher?
No, I say we start from the beginning and head down.
Okay. So I started this whole thing. It was just an idea. It was like, hey, I love movies. It would be fun to do this. So I started it with my wife. So we have 2 episodes with my wife. She very soon thereafter was like, I'm out. She comes back once or twice in the show. And we did a series with The Bachelor, which I'm not going to get into in this retrospective, but those are kind of fun. I wish she would do more, but we love her. She has her own path. So the first 2, St. Vincent, medium bucket. My wife gave it a 1 thumb. She didn't really know what was going on, but I stand by that one.
Look, I love Bill Murray. I thought it was entertaining enough. You've got to like a little more of a dry sense of humor to get that one, but yeah, I don't mind your medium bucket.
Yeah, it's not super funny. It's not as funny as the trailer made it out to be, for sure. So, Multiplicity, large bucket. My wife gave it a 1.5 tubes of lipstick. I don't really know what that means.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I would imagine that you were close to giving that one a golden bucket.
No, I was actually leaning on a medium.
Really?
But the reason why I thought it garnered a large bucket was because of what they did at that time in 96 with all of the camera work, with all the different versions of Michael Keaton. And it's just fun. It's a rewatchable movie too, which whenever I can watch a movie more than once and I can revisit it and still have a good time, that elevates it for me. So large bucket.
For sure. I actually like your large bucket there.
Number 3, the third movie we reviewed was Jaws. I mean, you can't get mad at me for giving a golden bucket to Jaws.
I cannot, because the fact that you can watch that, go to the most shallow part of a beach the next morning and not be spooked says it all. So yeah, I'll give you golden bucket.
I mean, sharks aren't as dangerous as everyone thinks they are because of Steven Spielberg.
Right.
So
and the score. I mean that's.
Yeah. So that one, my guest gave it a Cole and Taylor gave it a 12 out of 10 and then an 8 out of 10, which I think is way too low. But then we reviewed Anomalisa, which my notes in here is I said I liked it but would not recommend it.
I don't even know what that is.
It's a stop motion feature of, I think, Kaufman, and it's a wild premise, and it's very interesting. It's the first time I've ever seen stop motion male nudity, so there's that. It's not for everyone, but I'm glad that I watched it, but I still.
But how can you not, like, in other words, if somebody's like, should I watch this? You're going to say,
I'm going to say no.
You actually shouldn't.
Yes.
But I gave it a medium bucket.
Yeah, because
those two don't sync. No. I mean, this is where it begins.
Because of the merit of what they did was, and what it made me think about is where I gave it a medium bucket. Again, I don't recommend it. And Cole and Taylor have also given me crap about how on the show we have these kind of multi-layered recommendations where we say we loved it, but it's not for everyone. And you're going to see that happen multiple times in this series.
And within every single movie lover is going to, certain things are going to resonate. I mean, I speak to nostalgia all the time, and those are what elevate scores for me. So I get it, but it still doesn't sync up that you're going to say, absolutely do not watch this, but it was decent. No,
I don't know how. It's weird because you'll have a friend who's like, "Hey, you should watch Commando," for example. But I had a really interesting conversation with Taylor, and we talk about it in Cobra, which will be coming out in, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks. We reviewed Cobra, and he mentioned how he recommended it to a lady coworker of his, and he's like, "This is the sickest movie," and she's like, "That was terrible." You know, it's depending on who you recommend. Like, you're not going to recommend that to, you know, a bunch of ladies for a bachelorette party to go watch Commando, you know, like you can't.
But there's a big difference between recommending something. I think you would agree. Most every movie is watchable to some degree. And so you're not going out on a limb by saying, hey, you should watch it. But you are really stamping it when you say, do not watch this. So
I didn't say don't watch it. I said I don't recommend it, but it has merit. So
there's no distinction there. There's not a distinction between don't watch this and I don't recommend it.
Dude, let's see if that theme comes up again, okay?
Okay.
All right. So our 5th movie of the series was Into the Woods. It was my wife as well. It was a bonus episode because I thought she wasn't coming back, and then she did. I didn't like it at all. I gave it a small...
Was that a horror movie?
No, it's a musical.
Oh.
With, I think, Chris Pine.
I can't do musicals. Yeah, I can't do musicals.
It was weird. And I know that it has a following in the, like, Broadway arena, but it was weird and incoherent. Some of the songs were cool, but then it was just disjointed, and I almost gave it a flaming bucket, but I was like, small bucket. My wife gave it a 3 out of 5. But again, that's something that I would be like, she wouldn't even recommend that and gave it a 3. So I don't know. Moving on to our number 6 is The Revenant. And I watched that in theaters with Dr. Dare. And this was a special mini car cast because I didn't really know what I was doing. But we watched it on 4K on the biggest screen possible. And golden bucket for sure.
Yeah, it was a great movie. A little long. He obviously won his Oscar there.
Correct.
I kind of felt like he deserved the Oscar for probably 3 or 4 other movies before this one.
100%. I think this was like, hey, you did really, really, really good. We feel bad for not giving it to you 6 other times. Here's your Oscar.
Here it is, finally. There was nothing else that year. So here's what I would say. I probably wouldn't give that a golden bucket, but I don't mind it. I'd say you're 2 for 2 on your goldens that you've given out thus far.
Yes. I see. Okay, there we go. This next one, Number 7, I call it, it's a bonus because me and my kids were amped. We were watching Star Wars at the time. They had never seen it. It was super fun. We were kind of gearing up for Rise of Skywalker to come out. My kids were like, they had so many questions. And the only reason why I gave it a medium bucket and not a small bucket was because I just love Star Wars. So, but not a great film. Very weird editing. There's really great segments in it, but I couldn't give it a higher than a medium. And go listen to any of these reviews for the reasons why, but because we're not going to get it into every single detail, but that's a medium for me.
Yeah, I mean, I probably would have given it a small bucket, but I never watched it. But there's a reason why, because all the new ones suck. So I'm good with that.
Yeah, I know you don't like them, and that's no big deal. I keep just whatever Star Wars stuff comes out, I'm in. Like, I'm going to watch it. I don't care. I love even the one that was kind of lambasted recently, the Acolyte series. It wasn't good, but I got to see people with lightsabers, and that was pretty cool, you know, like, so it's the same thing for me with Predator. You know, there's some mediocre Predators in the series, and we'll be getting into that in probably the next episode, because we go through all of the Alien and Predator movies on the show.
Yeah.
And I just want to give my money to the things that I want. And if there's another Predator movie coming out, it's already been announced, I'm in. I don't care if it's not 100% great. I want more Predator. When I can spend more time with Predators, I'm good. Same thing with Star Wars. Next one is our 8th movie, is A Serious Man from 2009. I
don't know what it is.
It's a Coen Brothers film. One of their, I don't know if you would call it lesser known, but probably lesser known, less hyped. But it was so good. I just love their dialogue, obviously, and large bucket easily for me.
I've never seen that one, and it could be a hidden gem. I'm glad that it's not a golden bucket, because I would have taken you to task, because if I've never heard of it and you're giving it a golden bucket, like, there's issues.
It's a dark humor. It's not like belly laughs. It's like, oh, this is kind of, you know, there's some people who have a problem with, you know, I wouldn't say cringy, but, you know, Curb Your Enthusiasm, for example. People can't hang with it because it's like, I don't know, it's too cringeworthy, but I like some dark humor. I'm okay with it. So Serious Man, large bucket for sure.
Okay.
Next one is actually the reason and inception of why we have Popcorn Redemption. The whole category is because of this movie, and I reference it all the time. It's our first flaming bucket, the worst rating. Again, our rating is a 5 scale, or my rating: flaming, small, medium, large, and golden. So flaming bucket, the reason why, listen, Shakespeare is great in an English class. I don't want it on the silver screen. I can't understand what you're saying. I don't want to have a homework assignment while I'm trying to understand what's going on. So, and the dialogue, not only was it obviously Shakespearean, but it was really hard to hear. So we had to put the subtitles on. My wife even started watching it with us, and within 20 minutes, she's like, "Hey, I'm going to go to bed. This sucks balls." And I was like, "Yeah, it does."
Yeah.
So not great. My buddy Cole gave it a 7 thumbs up, because he always likes giving his picks higher ratings, like to help him feel better about his picks. But I'll tell you what, he picked some stinkers. I love you, Cole.
Yeah.
And I want you to continue to be on the show. You're probably not listening to this because you don't listen to the show that you're on. But okay, so Macbeth, that's number 10 or number 9. Number 10 is The Imitation Game from 2014. I gave it a medium bucket.
Good.
Taylor recommended it. Cole recommended it. Taylor gave it a high rating. He says, I like math and I'm weird. So I like history, movies that are based on history. I love World War II stuff.
Agreed.
Super cool.
Completely agree.
I will never watch this again, but I enjoyed the journey. And when it was over,
good, yeah.
Yeah. So medium there. We're going to go back into this thing. This is reoccurring, but the theme of movies that are from my childhood, I'm going to be giving them high ratings. So here's another one of those. Number 11 is FX from 1986. Large bucket. I almost gave it a golden bucket, but
glad you didn't.
I didn't.
And I will actually not take umbrage with that because FX, after watching, I wanted to be a makeup artist in Hollywood. I mean, it was so cool.
Yeah. And even these two guys, they hadn't seen it. And they were like, this is really cool. It was Cole said it was like Drive, but with an FX guy, with Gosling.
I thought it was great.
And Taylor said way better than a B tier blockbuster. So if you can't find something to watch, go watch FX because it's a good film.
Agreed.
Number 12 is 71, the number 71 from 2014. Again, Cole and Taylor bring up movies that I wouldn't ever know about.
I've never even heard of this.
It's about an Irish uprising and like conflict in Ireland. I don't know all of the histories. I was enthralled, partly because I had never seen it before. I didn't know about the backstory, so anything that they talked about was new to me, and it was engaging. And I probably could have given it a medium, but I'm standing by my large bucket.
Okay. Oh, man. We're about to run into some tough ones, my friend. Oh.
All right, so now we're on.
You're fucked. Okay.
All right, we're going to do 13, 14, and 15. 13 is Reanimator from 1985. Okay, here's another one of those. This is a cult classic, okay? I'd never seen it before. I was shown.
I've never heard of it.
It's so horrible and not even a B movie. It's a schlocky horror film. And if you don't know what it is before you go into it, it's not rated. It's not even rated R. There's some things that I've seen in there that I can't unsee. For that reason, it's so wild. But it's one of those movies, you and I have talked about this, where movies are super fun when you can watch them together. There's movies, we've mentioned it before, where if we were to watch it together with maybe a bucket of wings and some snacks and sodas and laughing about it, it would make it even more fun and maybe elevate the rating. That's where I get a golden buck from here. Again, I wouldn't recommend it to anyone that I know because other than my movie buddies, because it's so, there's some graphic stuff in it.
There is a difference between a golden bucket and a large bucket. And what you just described was a large bucket. Because under most every judging guidelines, that would have been a 0 stars. A fucking flaming bucket.
No.
But
it can't be.
There is no chance in hell that everything that you just described can elevate it to a golden bucket. No.
I mean, you're a really good salesman. You could definitely talk me down to a large bucket, but
for sure.
Like I said in the intro of the show, this is my show. I liked it, and yes, I'm going to give it a golden bucket.
I'm not saying that you shouldn't like something. That's not what I'm saying. And I think that you can really, really enjoy a movie and have it be a large bucket, but golden bucket has to be designated. We have to protect the sanctity.
We have to protect the
of the golden bucket. Okay.
Oh, dude, I forgot to.
I'll die on this hill.
Dude, I pulled this from our beekeeper episode, and I forgot to play this stinger. It's you I cut it out of the episode. So this is behind the scenes. Okay. This is what you said. Okay.
Well, okay. I'll hold my reserve until we actually go through this fucking thing. But I'm telling you right now, I think you're in trouble.
No.
Yeah,
No.
Yeah, I knew you were in trouble. Yeah, I'm seeing it now. Oh yeah.
So, well, I'm okay. Let's get through these three because it's 3 Goldens in a row. Next is In Bruges from 2008, and I will raise my hand right now and say I probably should have given this a large. It's really good.
Yeah.
I think maybe because my buddies liked it so much and the enthusiasm again of watching it with people. That's what movies when you're with people. That's why the movie experience is much better in the theater because you get that vibe. So maybe
And I will say Colin Farrell is, in my opinion, very underrated. I think that he's a brilliant actor.
He is amazing, and it's super funny.
And I don't think he gets credit for the brilliance that he actually is.
I agree.
But there's no way that's a golden bucket. There's just no way.
Yeah, I love the dark humor again. It's really funny. There's some laugh out loud belly laughs of stuff that's very dark. I'm standing by it, but I did raise my hand and said this is probably one of these 17 that we're going to be talking about that maybe a little too high.
Yeah,
but the next one, I will die. I'm going to die on the hill. Rogue One by far is a golden bucket. I don't care what anyone says.
It literally was the final nail in the coffin. The first nail in the coffin, in the Star Wars coffin, the first nail was Jar Jar Binks. Okay? That was the first nail. But this movie was so awful.
No. This gives us insight into what it bleeds right into Star Wars, A New Hope. And it gives us some insight into what happened. It's amazing. And they weren't afraid. By the way, there might be spoilers in this. I don't know. We're just talking about these movies. So pop off if you haven't seen Rogue One, but everyone dies. They were like, they knew what they were doing and they didn't shy away from anything. I don't know. It's so beautiful. I wish more Star Wars movies were like this one, especially the peripheral ones.
What would you give the first 3?
I would give...
Would you give all of those a golden bucket or none of those a golden bucket?
I would give A New Hope and Empire a golden bucket. I wouldn't give Return of the Jedi. I'd give Return of the Jedi a large only because... But I loved that one when I was a kid. Like everyone hates the Ewoks.
The Ewoks.
I loved them. I thought they were awesome.
Village.
I loved the whole thing. I was like, I wanted the village. It was so expensive. My parents were like, "We're not buying you that," and I was like, "I'll just never get to have that set."
I'm actually gonna say I'm okay with your golden bucket on that one. I just wouldn't do it, but mine and Star Wars' relationship is complicated.
Yeah, and I agree.
Like it's complicated.
I have friends who like hated Harry Potter or hate Star Wars or hate certain things, and that's fine. I don't care. If you don't want to watch it, that's up to you. But there is some merit to Rogue One, and it really made...
Yeah, I won't take you to the stake for that one.
It connects things that... The biggest problem, even my son brought this up when we were watching the whole Star Wars series. He's like, "Hey, Dad, why... So you can just go shoot a bullet into a hole and blow the whole thing up? Wouldn't they have like figured out this flaw?" And he's like 7. And then he's like, why are they doing another Death Star? And then when the new movies came out, he's like, are we just doing a 3rd Death Star? We don't have a better idea. I mean, he's 7, you know? So
he's right.
The Rogue One helps us understand that Jyn Erso, he designed that so that they could blow it up. That helps me. It makes New Hope better.
I will allow that.
Okay. All right, let's move on. 16 is Hunt for the Wilder People. Again,
Never heard of it.
a recommendation from Colin Taylor. It's fun. It's
Okay.
Taika Waititi, who did a bunch of movies for Marvel. He's kind of entrenched with Disney right now, but he also did the vampire show. I just forgot the name. It's so good. I would give that a golden bucket right now too. We Are in the Shadows. In the Shadow? I can't remember. They made a TV series on Fox or FX based on that movie. Brilliant, funny guy. Fun watch, and it's like you could watch it with your kids. Like you can watch it with it's a family affair.
It looks like a sneaker. Yeah.
Yeah. So large bucket.
Like it'll sneak up on you.
Maybe could have been a medium, but it's just fun and I enjoyed it. So at number 17, Kubo and the Strings from 2016. We all across the board gave it a golden bucket on this one. It's really good.
Nope. So in that vein, into the room while you all were watching it, because there's just, I can't see a golden bucket, especially I've never heard of this movie.
This studio who makes these stop motion films they're elite, and it's unbelievable what they do and what they continue to do. They're not moving on to CGI. They lace CGI into it, but it's all hand done, and it's so beautiful, and the story is really great. I loved it.
And see, and that's again what you just described as a large bucket.
No.
Golden bucket is something that you walk away with a completely different outlook on so many different things. You walked away from this movie saying, wow, I really appreciate art and things, but it didn't change. It wasn't life-changing. Golden bucket is life-changing.
Here's a caveat. Anytime I give a golden bucket to something you haven't seen, you need to shut your mouth because you haven't even seen it.
Yeah, well.
And so again, right now I'm 4 for 6.
I kind of feel like no.
Yes.
No, I can't give you 4 for 6.
Yes. You gave me Jaws. You gave me The Revenant.
I did.
You gave me
did not give you Reanimator.
In Bruges.
I gave
you gave me In Bruges, and you gave me Rogue One. There's 4.
No. I didn't give you In Bruges.
Let's go back to the tape.
I said Colin Farrell. Yeah, we should absolutely go back to the tape. Because you yourself said, yeah, I got a little caught up on this one. It was probably a large bucket. So you're 3 out of 6. And Kubo, come on.
All right. Number 19, Submarine from 2011. Again, another Colin Taylor selection.
Wait, Revenge of the Ninja?
Oh, whoops. We skipped number 18. Sorry. Revenge of the Ninja. Yeah. This was my pick from 1983. It was filmed in Salt Lake City. It's so horrible, but like these guys gave it way higher marks than me. It's not great, but it's one of those where if you maybe took an edible or you had a bunch of dudes with you, it's just wild and horrible. And I thought it was funny that it was filmed in my hometown. So, but medium. I gave that a medium.
I'm 90% sure I know this movie very well from my childhood, and what sticks out is throwing stars.
Yeah, there's
throwing stars.
I remember there's a murder in a hot tub.
Okay.
Yeah, it's real.
We're on the same page.
I gave a caveat that I would give it a large if you're in the right mood, but medium. I'm channeling Sacklunch here by giving it a medium, I think.
I would agree with your medium. I would have actually given it a medium as well.
Okay, Submarine from 2011, like I just mentioned. This one could have been a medium. I think I gave it a large because of these guys gave it golden buckets, essentially. Cole's stars, he gave it a full galaxy of stars. He's so funny with his rating. That's why I love it. But yeah, I think it's like a coming of age film. Nothing super crazy great about it. So maybe that's a mistake, but I wouldn't stick with large.
I wouldn't begrudge. I don't know the movie, so I wouldn't begrudge it.
It's slower. Like I appreciate films that have good dialogue, and I don't mind. I'm not in this phase where I've got to have 2 seconds of exposition and then 30 minutes of explosions. Although I love explosions and action, but like I can appreciate slower moving movies. I don't have to be like, oh, that was boring because it was slow.
I agree.
So
I agree.
Number 20, Train to Busan from 2016. Unbelievable. This was kind of my gateway into like Korean films.
Korean films are actually great, but a Golden Bucket?
Yeah.
Never heard of it.
Okay. You and I, this is a little personal, but you and I kind of, well, we met because of a job that we used to work at, but really where our love for each other formed was because playing Call of Duty Zombies.
Yeah. Correct.
And this would be right up your alley. It's a zombie movie, and it's like the lowest budget, but you would never even think that it was. It feels so big in its scope.
And I should watch it.
I think you should. I think you would like it.
I'll reserve judgment.
It's dubbed.
I don't mind dubbed.
Okay. Number 21, Sleepless Night. I should have given this a flaming bucket. What a terrible film. It was so horrible. It was a French film. I blame Cole. Cole fell asleep.
I'm not going to say anything because it's French, and I've already took the French to task too many times.
Yeah. Apologize to our French listeners. I think I have.
You're the one that wanted to give this a flaming. So
yeah, I mean Cole picked it and he fell asleep. So not good. Okay. Even Taylor, who loves weird movies, he's like, I wouldn't watch this. He gave it 2 blue balls. Like, not good.
Okay.
All right. Number 22, Skull Island. Easily a golden bucket. Easily. I would watch this movie 10 times in this month if I could. It's so good. It's so fun. It's got John Goodman in it. It's got Samuel L. Jackson. It's so awesome, dude. It has everything that I want. It's got 70s stuff in it. It's got monsters. Of the monster universe, it has the most monsters. Kong is amazing in it. It's just sick.
I would never give this a golden bucket, but I could not begrudge you for giving it a golden bucket.
Yeah, of all of the Godzilla and Kong movies that they've come out with, this is by far my most favorite of the series. Yeah. And me and my son, we've reviewed 2 of these in addition to this Kong movie. And he also was like, yeah, Kong Skull Island is the best.
When you watch it starts about 3/4 of the way through. They lose me. But man, like they build the suspense so perfectly, and they introduce, the various beasts so
and the CGI is really amazingly done. Like, looks so good.
I wouldn't give it a golden bucket, but like I said, I won't begrudge you.
Okay.
That.
All right. So I don't know where we're at, but I'm still above 50%.
You're not doing too well.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's not too well. Yeah, you're not doing too well.
Number 23, King Arthur: Legend of the Sword from 2017. I tried an experiment. I went to this with my buddy Barraza. It was fun because we like going to bad movies. But this was really bad. And I recorded this podcast by myself. I'll never do a solo podcast ever again because of this show. I apologize if you listen to it. It's super short, so it's not like, a huge commitment to you, but flaming bucket. And when we were there, and it's Guy Ritchie. Like
and Charlie Hunt.
Correct.
Jude Law.
Correct.
Man.
It was hot trash.
I never saw it, but it really didn't. All right.
Yeah, it wasn't good at all. Okay, number 25. We're halfway through episode 1. 24 is 13 hours :
You gave this a medium bucket?
If I could, I would have given it a large. And I can because it's my show, remember?
Correct.
Yeah, I think if I were to go back, I think the only reason why I gave it a medium instead of a large because it was a little too long. But that's what Michael the Bayhem, he loves to draw things out with slow motion.
I got to be honest though, like this is a golden bucket for me.
It was really
it's just
good.
Shocking that you can have a medium bucket on there. I don't understand that. I think that was a critical error, and it is your show, and I think you should rectify it now and upgrade that.
I know that Taylor gave it 500 out of 100 stars, so very high marks. He loved it.
Yeah, I think you need to upgrade it here on this show.
All right, I just moved it to large.
That's my man. Oh.
But hey,
this is
the
the
only reason why I'm going to do that is if you give me one of those if you give me in Bruges, I'll give you a large bucket for 13 hours.
No, I cannot give you in Bruges. I will give you Kubo and 2 strings.
Okay.
But I will not give you in Bruges.
Okay. Fair enough. I'll leave it at a large.
Okay.
All right. Moving on to 25, Barton Fink again, Coen Brothers film from 1991. I love the Coen Brothers. Again, we talked about A Serious Man, which I gave a large bucket. This one was not good. I did not like it. Cole gave it top stars. Taylor didn't like it as well. It's really slow in a bad way. It's not good. Sorry, Coen Brothers. I know you're listening, but small bucket buddies. 26, Get Out from 2017. Golden bucket.
You're going to hit a stretch here where you're going to claw yourself back into reasonable, slightly below reasonable. I would give Get Out a large bucket.
Yeah, I could see you giving it a large.
I won't say golden bucket, and let me tell you why. Because what was the other one Jordan Peele did?
The one with the scissors?
Yeah.
I can't remember what it is. I'll look it up while you're...
Oh, Us. Okay.
Yeah,
so
Us.
I can see, all right, but for me, I thought Us was so unique and and so that one's a golden bucket. This one is a large bucket. I think you're stretching for a golden bucket here, but I can't take that one away from you. I'll let it stand.
In my opinion, I flip-flop those. I think Jordan Peele is getting worse. Like, Get Out is awesome. Us is really good. Nope is not good. Nope has the title of Nope for a reason. It's not good. Nope.
Is that the alien one?
Yeah, we'll talk about it. We reviewed it on this show, but it's not
you did? Okay.
Yeah, not for a bit.
Okay.
Star Trek Beyond from 2016. Golden bucket. I have a love for Star Wars. I have a love for Star Trek. Because I gave this a golden bucket this was the first time Star Trek was like a Star Trek, just Star Trek. They weren't trying to remake another movie. It felt like the serialized TV show, and I just loved being with these characters. I'm sure it probably merits a large, but I don't care. It was awesome. I would watch this multiple times. It's super fun.
I just think the one that relaunched it is the Bellwether, and I don't think that this lived up to it.
I invite you to go revisit it. It's fun.
Look, I'm not saying that it's not a great movie, but it's not a golden bucket. It's just not. All
right, I need to be tallying these. How many do you even agree with? Do we need to just go? Let's get through to 50, and then we'll tally them at the end.
Okay.
Deal. Number 28 is It from 2017. Large bucket.
Oh, I'm okay with large bucket. What would you give the first one?
This is the first one. Or what do you mean with Tim Curry, the TV movie? Yeah. I actually watched that prior to seeing this, and I read the book, which is like 1,200 pages or something crazy. It's insane. Yeah. And there's some stuff in there that I just can't talk about in the book. But Tim Curry, he made that TV series. It was like a 2-part miniseries on TV, but not as good as the movie. by any stretch.
I would give them both large buckets. I bought the first one. Like, that's how much I loved it as a kid. My wife hates scary movies. And I tell her all the time, it's awesome when the movie can make you feel so uncomfortable. And both of them did it for me. But
both of them did.
Yeah. I think you're good on your large.
All right. We've got Free Fire from 2016. Not good. Medium bucket. I think I would put this as a small. These guys really liked it. It's not good.
I don't know what it is. It doesn't sound good.
The premise, if I were to tell you the premise, you'd be like, oh, that sounds like a great movie. It sounds like a Tarantino film where all these crazy characters come into this one warehouse and all of their stories converge and they have a shootout. Sounds like...
kind of like Reservoir Dogs.
Correct. Except for this is like a bargain basement, Western family, horrible film. This is not good. It doesn't live up to the premise. Number 30, the reason why it's number 30 is The Edge from 1997. Anyone wants to argue with me that this is not a golden bucket can F off.
No, I won't argue. I said earlier that if you walk away from a movie and it's changed your outlook, like, you can't tell me you didn't walk away from that on so many different levels, saying, okay, who is actually there and what would I do being in that circumstance? So no, I freaking love this movie. I love your golden bucket there.
It is, for me, one of those movies that you can kind of watch in like January, even though I know you're in a tropical climate, but like, right. We grew up in a place where the climate in January is like cold as balls. And this is a movie that I love watching in the wintertime. It's just great.
It's so good. So, okay. I'm good on your golden.
And everyone who hasn't seen The Edge or doesn't even know what we're talking about, Anthony Hopkins, Baldwin,
yeah, Alec Baldwin.
It's a survival movie. There's so many things about it that's so good, and I just can't. I don't want to spoil it for anyone.
You know what's interesting about that one too is you look at isolation movies like a Castaway. I mean, we would both agree that's a golden bucket. The fact that one person by himself can carry a movie. But this is even a little more interesting in that two people isolated can carry a movie. I thought it was incredible.
Interesting. Okay, yeah, I agree 1,000%. I own it. I own it on Blu-ray. It's so.
You should.
All right, number 31, The Man Who Would Be King. Again, a movie selected by Colin Taylor.
Never heard of it.
It's from the 70s. It's an epic. Movies from the 60s and 70s, these epic movies that they just don't make anymore. They try. Napoleon just came out. I still haven't seen it.
I haven't either. I've heard it's terrible.
I just heard it's not the best, but
yeah,
it's fun. I wouldn't have ever watched it ever, but because we did this podcast, I got to see it and I liked it. I don't think I'll see it again, but large bucket. The next one was my pick. I was trying to channel these guys' weird films, so I picked a French film. It was terrible audio from my end, like recording it. This actually, I think this was the episode that sparked me to buy some gear, some better gear, because it's hard to listen to, and it's a French film, dude. It's like art, it's like you're going to some art exhibit. It's not a
with that.
Yeah, it's not a linear show. So yeah, medium. I probably would give it a small. If I'm gonna downgrade this to a small.
You need to. I can hear it in your voice.
It's not good. There's some scenes in it, but not enough for you to sit through it. So,
okay.
Number 33, Pottersville from 2017. This is a PG film, but it had so weird themes in it. There was like adult furries in it. It was a Christmas movie. It has
Michael Shannon
in it. It's so weird and horrible. And Cole gave it a 2 out of 4 because he picked it. This is my third flaming bucket. So third worst film that we've reviewed on the show.
It looks really bad stuff. Okay, I'm good with that.
Next one, I think you might be upset with this one too. Logan Lucky from 2017, number 34. I gave it a medium.
Yeah, that's a large all day.
I think you might be right. If I were to go back,
Daniel Craig's so funny.
He's so good. He's so good in it. Dang it! I might need to change that.
And Channing Tatum, man, like he's underrated funny, dude. And he murked it in that one.
I can't remember why I gave it a medium, but I did.
Yeah.
Number 35. Yeah, it makes me smile thinking about it, so it must be better than medium.
Right. Yeah.
Number 35, Crimson Peak. I know it's so good.
Come on.
I gave it a golden bucket. It's Guillermo del Toro.
Come on, Doug. Nah. It's me here. It's your homeboy. Come on, Doug.
It was so good. It was so beautiful to watch. It was kind of like a creepy horror movie.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Golden bucket, huh?
Fudge.
Yeah. The toughest part was you were really starting to claw back into the conversation, and Crimson Peak.
Okay. I will. Can you give me I'll give you a large on Crimson Peak if you will concede on. Do you concede it on Kong? Right. I was okay on. Okay. Yeah. Okay. What else could I get?
No, you're not getting anything. No.
All right. I'm keeping this. I'm keeping it. I think it's great.
I think you're being silly right now. Listeners will take you to task on that. Bucket. Come on, Doug.
I don't know. I would love to hear everyone's thoughts on these because it's for sure great. It's great. Number 36, Department Q: The Keeper of Lost Causes from 2013.
I don't even know what it is.
It's apparently a series of 3 different movies. Cole picked it. I gave it a medium. It's like it was trying to be kind of like we talked about Free Fire being a bargain basement Tarantino film. This felt like a bargain basement 7 film. Like it was about a detective finding some lady trapped, and it was like you're trying real hard, but you didn't quite get there.
I would give a bargain 7 credence, but I mean, because 7's a golden bucket.
Yeah. I haven't reviewed that, which maybe you and I should, because
we maybe should.
It'll give you an opportunity to see a scary movie that your wife won't want to see.
Yeah, I mean that movie is one that'll shake you to your core.
Yeah, definitely not a rewatchable film, but definitely you can watch it a couple of times, but it's not something you're revisiting.
I think I've only seen it twice, max 3 times, but I think twice just because it is so hard.
It's so heavy. I think I've only seen it once, and it wasn't in the theaters.
It's so heavy.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. All right, moving right along. Number 37, Annihilation, medium bucket. Do we need to debate that one?
No.
Okay. 38, Sicario, Day of the Soldier from 2018, medium bucket. It's not a great sequel. But if you were to pull it out, like if you were to say, hey, there was no Sicario, this was a movie by itself, pretty great film. But because I have this Sicario, which is so good, it makes that one worse.
Which is where I go back to Star Trek and Beyond. Like, that golden bucket is a tough one to swallow. But I agree with you on this one. The first one
is a golden bucket.
It's just 100% golden bucket. Yeah.
Okay, so that's kind of where that's a medium.
I see it.
Number 39, we're going back to Stallone. There was a lot of Stallone films that I couldn't see when I was a kid. And
I hate that I'm not going to argue with you on this one. I hate it.
It's not good, but it's so good.
It doesn't deserve a golden bucket. But man, when I was 14 years old and I saw this movie, I was like, this is dope.
Yeah, freaking Wesley Snipes getting unfrozen. So good.
Yeah. That's tough to go with the golden bucket, though.
I don't care.
But I'm not going to argue with you. Okay. I'm not going to argue with you just because of Stallone and my feelings about it. Right. Okay.
Number 40, Tenet.
Great movie. Not a golden bucket.
Not a golden bucket. If you listen to our show, it was my buddy.
You gave that a large bucket.
I did give it a large bucket. I watched this with Dr. Dare and Angry Dane. Shout out to those guys. We went and saw this and we kind of got back and we're like, that was a good movie, right? Because I just felt like
a lot of dots to connect.
Nolan is like drinking his own Kool-Aid on this one. And there's a little too far into the time warp stuff that he loves.
It was tough to connect everything and stay connected. Very similarly to someone with Matthew McConaughey.
Interstellar.
Yeah.
And I would rate Interstellar higher than this at probably a golden bucket because of the emotion and the connection between like the father and the daughter. Like I have a daughter and man, I purposely don't watch Interstellar because I just don't want to weep so much.
Yeah.
So much.
It's good. It's really good. So I agree with your large bucket.
I mean, I could even maybe bump that down to a medium if I had to. But it's good.
Good movie.
Number 41, You Were Never Really Here from 2017. Again, another movie that's not widespread. I would call it a R-rated Taken.
Oh, so good.
I couldn't give it a golden. It's just, it wasn't as polished as it could have been.
Agreed.
But
agreed. And it's another one that'll shake you up a little bit.
Oh man. And Joaquin Phoenix, whenever does anything, he's
incredible.
He goes all in and his body's all jacked up in it, which he did in Joker too. But like, it's so weird. I don't know. It's heavy. It's a heavy film, but it's good. Hard to recommend to people. That's what I put on the notes here because of the subject matter. It's Taken, but what Taken had to cut out because you had to make it a PG.
Keep it watchable, right?
Yeah. Number 42, Upgrade from 2018. Sick movie. Golden bucket. It's a dog. No, I'm not backing down. I love video games, and this is basically a video game, and I love it so much. The premise is amazing.
So, in other words, like I have to watch this because I've never seen it.
Correct. You have to watch it. I don't think you'll give it a golden bucket, but you will like it. I guarantee it.
If it's even a large bucket, then I won't take umbrage with your golden bucket. But right now, we have to put an asterisk on it.
I just love that. Again, you can't talk crap on me until you've seen these that I'm giving golden buckets to.
Some of these I 100% can.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. But some of them, without question, I absolutely can.
I think the ambition of this, it's a low budget film, and what they were able to accomplish, it's so awesome. And
you keep describing large buckets.
No, it's golden.
You keep describing large buckets.
No, listen to me. There's a moment in the film, and you'll see it when you get there, where you're like, okay, I know why Popcorn gave this a golden bucket. There's a moment at the end of the film. I will
watch this weekend.
And it's awesome. And it's short too. It's like, I think it's like an hour and 45 minutes or something. It's awesome.
Okay. I'll watch it this weekend.
Number 43, Black Mirror: Bandersnatch from 2018. This one it was kind of like a novelty that we wanted to try out. It was on Netflix. It's a Netflix movie, obviously with Black Mirror, but it was a choose your own adventure where with the remote you can like pick what you want the character to do. And
Really?
that's why I gave it a medium. I didn't.
Uniqueness.
Yeah, it was kind of cool, but I felt like I wanted to go back and pick the worst scenarios, like jump off a building or try to kill some people. I appreciated what they were trying to do. I don't think they can pull this off, and I applaud them, but medium bucket for me. Number 44, Venom from 2018.
Too many expectations.
It was still super fun.
Just, you have to admit, your hopes were through the roof.
Well, it's Hardy, and I think he did.
Yeah.
The only reason why it's a medium bucket is because of Tom Hardy and what he did with the character.
It just was bad. It just wasn't good, but it's watchable.
Yeah, I think it's not bad. It's just the tone shifts are pretty jarring. It goes from funny to serious to action and it didn't really kind of meld together all those.
Yeah, it was very clunky.
Yeah,
You're right.
Next one is 45, First Man from 2018. I gave it a golden bucket, dude.
It's a pretty damn good movie.
I love the space movies.
Yeah.
Like
you can't watch this and walk out and not be inspired.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, like
So
want to
good.
be the best in whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
And the aspirations of man, it's just crazy that, that happened. And I love Apollo 13. I love these movies. It's not Apollo 13. I think Apollo 13 is also a golden bucket, but in a different way. This one is more slower. I loved it. I think you probably would have given it a medium, or not a medium, a large.
Okay.
Number 46, Cold Pursuit. It's basically Liam Neeson is still going on his trajectory of trying to do Taken again. He did it like eight times.
Tough. It was very tough to watch. Yeah.
It's
and I don't mean this movie because I didn't watch this movie. I meant the trajectory that he was on was really brutal.
He's still on it, ironically. He's still churning out these. They're not to the level of Taken, but he's still doing.
He did recently say that he's got to stop, so.
Not a great one. The highlight of the movie is someone getting a pole, like a tree pole, stuck down in through their body. It's pretty hilarious. But medium bucket, anytime I give a medium to you, it's like maybe you should watch it. That's where that is. Chaplin is number 47 from 1992. I gave it a medium. Cole fell asleep.
I don't disagree. That's tough. It's not a great movie.
I think Downey got a nod or even once. I think he got best actor nod. Like he did a really great job. It's just they tried too hard to put so much into that movie. It's like his whole life. Like, why don't you just pick 20 years or 15 years or maybe one segment or I don't know. It was ambitious and long. And I think it was like 3 hours long. It's like, I can't.
That's a small to medium for sure.
Yeah. Blade Runner 2049 is number 48 from 2017.
No.
Now tell me why I can't give a golden bucket to this.
Didn't live to the hype, number one.
For me, it did.
I shouldn't say hype because it was actually a really good movie, but it felt like they tried too hard. You talked about first one versus second one, and this isn't really a sequel because this is, it is a sequel, but it's not really, right? It's a reboot, but the first one is so good. Yeah, but again, when that much time passes, you have to reboot it before you can sequel it. So I just didn't feel like it lived up to the first one. I thought it was a great movie, but I don't feel like I need to rush out and watch this movie every couple of years. I've seen it once, dude.
Dr. Dare.
How many times have you watched this movie?
3 times, and I own it now. I love the score. I'll watch it again. I think where people got hung up on, here's the thing, because Dr. Dare also gave me crap about giving this a golden bucket because he gave it a large bucket. I think he really wanted Villeneuve. He added that story of the uprising of the replicants, and I felt like it was really trying to lead into a third film, and because it wasn't a huge box office success, they never made it.
They scrapped it, which sucks, because I would have liked to see a third one to see if they could actually hit the home run, but this one was just a triple for me. And again, most everybody you ask is going to say the same thing. Like I've only seen this once.
Man, I love it. Just being in it, just seeing the worlds and the music and the score. It's so, oh man, I just love it so much.
I won't take that one away from you.
Thank you.
But it's one that I really disagree with.
But you're giving it a large?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a large bucket.
Okay. Yeah. Number 49, The Dead Zone from 1983.
I don't know what that is.
Walken. Christopher Walken. It's a Stephen King, based on a Stephen King novel. It's basically the idea of like, if you were to go, this isn't the actual movie, but the theme of it is like, if you could go back in time and kill Hitler as a baby, would you do it? You know, would you go back in time and change history so that things would be different?
Yeah.
And
kill baby Hitler.
I thought it was a medium bucket. It was, I wouldn't watch it again. It's definitely, you can feel like it's an 80s film.
It looks like it's an 80s film, what I'm looking at right now.
There's some really cool scenes in it.
I'm a big Stephen King fan. So for me, I probably would have elevated it to a medium bucket.
Yeah.
Thank you, but
it's not a large, in my opinion. It's a medium, strong medium. That's it. And then the last one of this episode, this took a little longer just because we had those homework assignments, but we're on number 50, Heat from 1995. Oh. Easily a golden bucket.
Easy.
Okay.
Easy.
Okay, thank you. All right, so what of those 17 are you not giving me?
Jaws, yes. Revenant, yes. Okay. Reanimator, no. In Bruges, no. Rogue One, I won't take it away.
Okay, you give me that one. So we got three. I'm just tallying these. Okay.
Yep. Kubo and Two Strings, no. But I did give it back to you because you changed. So, okay, you can keep it. Train to Busan, no.
You can't. I'm giving myself that one. You can't say that without seeing it.
Okay. Skull Island, okay, I'll give you that one.
Yes.
Get Out, I'll give you that one. Star Trek Beyond.
You're not giving me that one.
No way. There's no way. I don't think anybody would give you that one, to be honest with you.
Suck it.
The Edge.
Yeah, you'll give me that one.
The Edge, I'll give you that one.
You're not giving me Crimson Peak? Nope.
Not a chance.
You're not. No. And you're giving me Demolition Man.
Which I shouldn't. But
you shouldn't, but you are. You're not giving me Upgrade, but you can't not give it to me because you haven't seen it. So I'm giving myself that one.
I feel like I really can, because if there's one thing with a golden bucket, like, it should be almost unanimous. And your co-host gave it 3 out of 4, not 3.5 out of 4, which they did on Demolition Man, because I'm guessing it's the same person. They did a 3 out of 4, not a 3.5.
Yeah,
so
but
there's no chance.
Cole's MO is 3 out of 4. That's all he does is 3 out of 4, 3.5 out of. He never gives anything 4. Very, very seldom does he do that.
Right, but what I'm saying is so. In other words, a 3.5 would be a borderline golden bucket for Cole, and he gave Upgrade a 3. And again, I've never heard of it, and it's from 6 years ago. There's no way that's a golden bucket. First Man, all right. I'll let it slide because it was.
You're not giving me Blade Runner, and you're not. But you're giving me Heat.
Would.
Okay.
Oh, you have to. I mean,
what's the percentage of? we got 17 golden buckets, and you were allowing me, and I did give myself 2. You basically would have only given me 10, but I gave myself an extra 2. I don't see what the problem is.
10 out of 17?
Yeah, you gave me 10. That's more than...
That's what I'm saying. You think 10 out of 17 is good?
No, I'm giving myself 12, so that you're only not giving me 5. So, pop off.
Hold on. I mean, first of all, what is that percentage? What percentage is 12 of 17? 70%. And you are... So a C, you are claiming victory on a fucking C?
Well, I mean, kind of, yeah.
And it's not even a legit C. I mean, I came your way so far just to give you the C so far. Just to give you a fucking C, and you're doing a touchdown dance?
Oh my gosh, dude. I don't know if anyone's going to listen to this. We're an hour and 20 minutes in, and we just did 50 episodes.
I know, dude.
50 movies.
I thought we were going to be done with them all by now.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like the consensus is you got to tell me, listeners, we're going to stop here. I got 12. I'm calling it a victory. Sacklunch says that I'm wrong, and I'm well below a C, and that I am wrong.
How can you claim a C as a victory?
Yeah, I passed. I can go to the next grade. I can go to the next section of movies. C's. What is this? What is the C's get? What's that phrase? Can't think of it right now, but C's are good.
I mean, and again, that is such a fucking stretch that I don't see it. So no, but the listeners will have my back. Even the French listeners will have my back on this one.
I mean, that's a great way to end. Even the French are going to side with Sacklunch. Let me know what you think. I don't have an outro. We're just going to say goodbye and come back and see what monstrosity we're going to come up with our next 50 movies. I appreciate you sticking with us. If you didn't, that's fine. Not going to hear this part anyway, but I just wanted to go through this. I think we're going to do this every year. It's not going to be this long, but we're going to definitely go back and revisit why we did the things that we did. I think it's fun. So thanks, Sacklunch, for the idea. Although I'm hurt right now. My body's hurt. My feelings are hurt. But thanks for coming out. We'll see you guys next time. I'm waiting for you to say something.
No, but you said I'm just going to go out.
Well, I just wanted you to say thank you at least.
Damn it. I think we need to redo the outro.
No, we'll see you guys next time.